opportunity is all baseball players in the Negro Leagues wanted too before Jackie Robinson broke the Major League color barrier in 1947. Darius Joshua shows us how a former Negro Leagues player here in Milwaukee is supporting other surviving members and preserving the league's storied history.
Legacy is a fitting name for what's inside this first-floor store at Mayfair Mall.
A lot of people said, we didn't even know y'all was here.
Dennis Biddle is the president of yesterday's Negro League Baseball Players Foundation and runs the store with his wife, Patrice. It's been a near 30-year journey for the Biddles.
When it started, there was over 314 players living at that time. And most of them are gone now. It's less than 30 now, maybe a little more. And, it's getting late. Eddie Robinson recruited me, 1953.
Biddle is 88 years old now and a former player in the Negro Leagues, playing 2 years for the Chicago American Giants before injury forced him from the diamond. Efforts like this store have helped him share the history of the Negro Leagues.
I really feel that I have done what I promised Mr. Sherwood Brewer, who started the organization, that I would do. Before he died, I promised him I would keep the legacy going as long as I could, and I have.
Helping him honor that promise, Biddle has written a book about the Negro Leagues and plans to write another, sharing a history from the players he played with that he feels hasn't been told.
The game where the Negro athlete has left a bright mark.
This came from old men that did not get the notoriety that Jackie Robinson, Josh Gibson, and Satchel Paige got. But they also played in the league, and they contribute a lot to the history.
Please welcome Dennis Biddle of the Chicago American Giants.
The Brewers have helped Biddle with his goal as well, with annual tribute games and in past seasons wearing a Milwaukee Bears jersey, which is a former Negro League team that played one season in Milwaukee back in 1923.
We are the Negro League players still living, but we also, Milwaukee is a part of that history. So the Brewers helped us bring it back to life.
While at games, past, present, and future baseball players pass the bat, a tradition started by the Brewers to connect the generations. Former Negro League players that played in Kansas City, St. Louis, or elsewhere come to represent history.
How much joy do you kind of get out of those nights where you're talking to fans, teaching some fans, and interacting in that sense at Brewers games like that?
Because every time I do that, I feel I'm doing it to someone that didn't know nothing about it. That's gratification for me. We pass it down to our young people, so they're going to know the true history of the Negro Baseball League.
The Biddles are also trying to connect the past with the present off the field.
We came up with Bridging Gaps to Greatness so that we can establish a program that will preserve the legacy for generations to come.
Patrice is using her teaching background to create a pilot program she calls the Art of the Game Initiative.
We introduce the history of the Negro League Baseball by the players who played. So Dennis is the first one. We start with the oral history. And then what I do is reinforce his oral history experiences with learning designs where it's digital literacy, where they interact by playing a game or reinforcing what they heard or what they learned.
They don't want to just stay in classrooms either.
And we plan to use this as an example and a model of how we can get our kids engaged in a game of baseball and create pipelines of opportunity.
The Biddles feel leagues that began more than 100 years ago still resonate today and hope that 100 years from now, people still remember the Negro Leagues.
I just feel gifted. I feel elated, ladies, the fact that I'm a part of this.